Under certain circumstances, it surely does. I mean, we have forums and rallies, seminars, that sort of thing. It's a grassroots abolition work.
Have you convinced a lot of people that the death penalty is not what you should have?
Not a lot, but a few.
So you think what you're doing is worth it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure I'm doing the right thing. We're opposed to the death penalty. I think it's wrong to take another person's life.
What about the process? What in your mind would be proper penalties for someone?
Well, life in prison without the possibility of parole. Anything short of taking his life.
A lot of people would say that the penalty for taking a life or multiple lives should be losing your own. How do you refute that? How do you reconcile that to say you don't believe in the death penalty?
I could understand how they would feel that way, but it's wrong to take another person's life, and the state of Illinois is not going to be a bit safer tomorrow when John Wayne Gacy is executed. What's the purpose?
And why did you come out today?
Because I'm an abolitionist, I'm opposed to the death penalty.
Well, what will your presence here do to further that cause?
Well, some other friends are going to be here later. I'm sure other people from out the state that I don't know are going to be here, just to lend support to them, just so America knows not 100% of the people are for the death penalty.
Your shirt says Texas. Are you from Texas?
No, I'm not. This was a march that I was on in '91. It was Texans Against State Killing.
So
I travel this country.
Illinois.
No, I'm from Portage, Indiana.
So you came out over from Portage?
Right.
Have you followed the Gacy case throughout?
Well, I was involved. I was involved in a press conference on the 14th at the ACU building, and then I also spoke at the rally at Cook County Prison, and I spoke at the church afterwards. A lot of my friends that I've gained in the last few years are from the Illinois Coalition to Abolish the Death Penalty, and so basically I'm working with them.
So you feel like your cause is at this point a futile one, since it seems capital punishment has such overwhelming support?
Well, I don't know if futil's the right word, but it's definitely uphill. Definitely uphill. And it's a battle that we know is going to take another 10, 15.
And support. Get out of here. Going up my
Had this opinion for a while.
Gacy should go.
Last name for me, ma'am.
It's Elaine. It's Barsevich, Barsevich.
Elaine, why are you out here tonight?
I'm here in support of the families. I think that the families that lost those children and young men, I think that they need to know that someone else is happy, that this is finally going to come to an end.
Would you describe yourself as a death penalty proponent, or was it something before this case that you had given thought to?
I am for the death penalty. I think that if someone is sentenced to death, that they should get probably 2 years for appeals, and after that, put them to death. I mean, why keep them on death row for 10, 15 years?
What about the lawyers and the certain other people that you've heard saying, the man should have life in jail without a chance for parole? What's your feeling about that?
No, because there's always that chance for parole. There's always that chance. Probably never will happen, but I don't believe that. I'm for the death penalty.
What's your feeling specifically about Gacy and tonight? You look like you've been around these parts for a while. You followed this. I imagine you've heard about it for 14 years, like most of us.
I live 3 miles from him. I still live there today, in my own home. But I just feel, maybe because it was so close to me, and I had a teenage son at that time, that I think it could have been mine that this happened to. And I've been waiting for this day for a long, long time.
And you're feeling tonight?
I feel it'll finally be over. I don't feel any emotion of any kind. I don't feel happy. I don't feel sad. I don't feel anything. I'm glad it's finally over.
Thanks, ma'am. Boy, you sort of made this an all-day event. Are you alone?
I'm alone right here, right now. My husband's in the car because he couldn't bring his camera in.
Okay. Thank you, man.
Justice needs to be served exactly right now. Now. Tonight will be served. Thank you very much. Gacy Burger. Oh, that's sick. That's sick.
Yes, he just had open heart surgery in Colorado, and I'm sure he would have been here as he has followed the case and continued his correspondence and conversations with Gacy. So, I guess it's out of respect for Harlan and the research and the nose for news that he taught me. No, I won't light a candle, and except for my experiences would be. But I said, you know, Brian has been basically raised with this knowledge of Gacy. I mean, he's probably one of the few children who has an autographed picture in his baby book, and
Probably.
it just, you know, if we're this close, it's more like just following it through, seeing it to the end. I don't know if we'll be able to make it to the end, but he's got school tomorrow and an eclipse to watch. So.
Man, we walked up kind of late, so could you explain to us the picture here and tell us what this is about?
Yeah, this is, you'll notice the picture here says, "To Mary and Brian, love Harlan." And this is Harlan Mendenhall, professor of journalism emeritus from Southern Illinois University. This says, "Best wishes, John W. Gacy." It's beginning to fade out. And "Best wishes, Liz Heiger." Harlan taught creative writing to the inmates at Menard as just part of his activities in Southern Illinois. And through that, developed a relationship with Mr. Gacy and began writing a book with Mr. Gacy. When they began to write the book, I assisted Mr. Mendenhall in some background research, tracing Gacy's experiences in Iowa, the shoe salesman, his political involvements, things from the Chicago area, not that dealt with the crimes, preliminary, his life as much as we could trace, his wives, the things that we could find out. So I did a lot of that research. I was going to interview Mr. Gacy myself in April of '83, but I was very pregnant at the time and they wouldn't let me in. So Brian was born in June, and we never did get it reset, so they went ahead and authorized permission for this photo to be taken in the prison, and it was sent to us in August. So Brian is probably one of the few children who has an autographed picture of John Gacy in his baby book.
So why are you here tonight?
I'm here tonight, I think, because I've been involved with the Gacy story for so long. Brian's been aware of it for a very long time. It is history, Gacy's history, whether we like it or not. And out of respect for Mr. Mendenhall, who would be here if he could, but he's had open heart surgery in Colorado.
How do you feel about the execution?
Neither way as it applies to Mr. Gacy. I don't take a stand on capital punishment as it applies to Mr. Gacy. I'm here to see the case through. It may end tonight. He may get a last-minute appeal, in which case, for me, the story will go on.
What's your name?
Mary Tupper.
How you spell your last name, Mary?
Tupper.
Brian, come here real quick. Apparently this is something you've heard about your whole life. You're a little boy. Why are you here tonight? Is this because it's something big and famous and there's a lot of TV people and print people around here?
Well, sort of that, and sort of because I wanted to actually see the execution happen, but I can't now, and so I can see the actual place what happened just in memory.
Do you think somebody should die for killing other people?
Yes, I should. Yes, I do.
How old are you, Brian?
10.
Do you know what he was accused of doing and convicted of doing? Are you aware? Do you know what that means?
Yeah, he was accused of killing people and stashing them. Well, what I read in the thing said he was a homosexual, and and he only killed men, and he buried them under the crawl space.
So you're aware of what it's like to kill somebody, and you think that it's okay to kill somebody for killing other people?
Well, yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead. She needed to talk to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to get up there. Give me a couple minutes. All right, I'm trying to actually for me to get out of here. So I'm trying to drive. So you got to pick it up. All right, bye.
Your mouth gets too loud.
Take this long dealing with a man whose guilt is so beyond reason.
Well, I'm ready to be sick of it.
I know, but look how far away we are. It's not even on the ground. I know. I know.
Well, I don't. No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's when we got to start moving our people back there.
Right.
So between now and then, you know, the court's got to give us some clarification. At least that's what we're going to request. Is clarification on, you know, hows and what's and how many and all that other stuff. I don't know. We still, that's up in the air. I mean, the court has to explain that to us. That's what we're asking for.
Nick, have they had any physical contact at all with them today?
Oh yeah, hell, they all four of them have been back there.
Is he with the priest or?
Yeah, right now he's having mass.
Just update us, Nick, on what has happened since the last.
Having mass right now.
In terms of Gacy, what he has done since you last spoke. Last time you talked.
Well, like we talked, like I just mentioned, he has visited with family. He's been visiting with family all day. He is now, as we speak, having mass with the priest from. I don't know. Well, you know, who knows?
Can you tell us how many visitors he's had today?
No, I asked him if he wanted me to reveal that, and he said no.
Is the mass just him and the priest, or is he allowed to have
I don't know that he's asked for it. If anybody would have been family,
Nick, how many,
but I don't know for a fact if it's just him and the priest or what.
how many relatives of the murder victims are here now? And what?
I don't know that there are any relatives of the murder victims here. I don't know that for a fact. They are not due to be in you know, in our possession, if you will, which is probably a bad term, until later on this evening.
The Supreme Court order says that the lawyer should be allowed to stay with Gacy until the onset of the execution.
Once again, that is what we're asking for, is clarification from the court. I read the thing. Several other people read the order. To us, there's a certain amount of ambiguity to it, and we're asking the court to clarify that for us.
What would it do to the procedure if Gacy's lawyers are forced to stay there or allowed to be able to stay there until 12:01?
I don't know. We'll have to take a look at it.
Nick, is he
assess that at the time?
Has he indicated he wants to make a confession to the priest?
I don't know that. I don't. He didn't say anything about that.
Describe his state of mind now. Is he?
I have no idea. I haven't been back there. The last time I was back there was the last time I was in front of you guys.
What do you think the odds are that it might go down?
Who knows? You know, I mean, anything is possible. We all knew going into this thing that this was a complicated, complex issue, and mostly a legal issue, and that's what we're dealing with.
The lawyers requested 2 phone lines. They were complaining earlier because they weren't able to get the phone lines from the fax machine and brother communication. What is the problem with reasoning there?
I don't know that they were. I can't tell you about 2 phone lines. I can tell you there's a direct line going into Gacy's cell.
But they didn't have any outside lines going so that they could fax.
That's a bitch. I don't know. You know.
Can he call out on that line, or can only people call?
I don't really know, Carol.
Is it a procedural change to have the protesters or the demonstrators so far away?
No, actually, it's not really all that much different than it was for Charlie Walker or for Hampton.
What's the reasoning for having them that?
Well, you guys got to be near here, and they got to be down there. So that's what it's all about. I mean, that physically, you know, you can only have so many people in one area.
I was under the impression earlier that the family had to leave once the Gacy received dinner. Is that?
They left and they came back.
And now when do they have to leave again?
If they're not already left, pretty soon around 10. Let's see, what time is it now? They told me that the mass would last until about 9:30. So I don't know if they're going to come. 11 to 12. 11 or 12. What they're telling me is that they anticipate the mass will conclude at 9:30.
They can still be on the ground during the execution, though, right? Although they won't witness.
Yes, absolutely. We have a place set up for him.
And was Walker, did he have his attorney present?
No, he did not. As you'll recall, Walker, you know, gave up on his appeal, so I don't think he had an attorney here at all.
Well, Bill spoke as representative Judge Zabel's request, and he was, at Walker's request, he was a witness to this.
Okay, I didn't know that. I've never seen a list of witnesses for any of this stuff other than the media stuff.
Will witnesses come out here?
Some of them will, yeah. Those who want to, we'll be glad to let them come on out here.
So it's up to them.
Oh yeah, and I intend to, when they get here, I intend to go ask them, you know, if they care to do that, to identify themselves, and we'll make some arrangements for them.
How soon do you think it would be, assuming it happens 12:01?
I think all this. Oh, what? You know, the final procedure? I don't really know. You know, it's hard to tell. When the thing that's different with this is we had Charlie Walker all prepared, and he was all plugged into the machine and ready to go at 12:01. So, and you know, and he was declared dead at 12:11 or 12:12, I think is what it was. Took 11 minutes. This time we're starting at 12:01, taking the inmate from his cell and putting him onto the gurney and going through that procedure.
Do you know if there's any precedent elsewhere in the nation for keeping lawyers from the client right before an execution?
Not aware.
Two other points of clarification. You said when you visited Gacy today that it was today, not 2 weeks ago, that you walked around the grounds and smoked cigars?
Yeah, this evening, just before I came up.
The institution is on lockdown?
Yeah.
Okay, and he can... So
Gacy is in a secure area, and the recreation area set up for the inmates on the condemned unit there, back there. So, you know, he was out there in a relatively small area. Yeah, I already did that. Thanks. No, please.
Some of the families of the murder victims said they wanted to see the execution personally. I understand they were turned down today.
Yeah, they've been turned down regularly for quite a period of time.
Can you explain the department's position on that?
Sure. There's a limited amount of space in that area. 1.1. Point 2 is that this is a potentially volatile situation. We need to ensure that there's control and security in regard to the execution. The way we have decided to do that would be to limit access to the execution itself.
What do you mean by potentially volatile?
Excuse me. You know,
Why should a policeman?
if an individual from the victims' families be allowed in, you would necessarily have to, out of fairness, leave other folks in from Gacy's side. So you have a potential problem there. You need to be able to see that. It seems very obvious to me.
Are victims' families here on the grounds?
Not yet.
Will they be?
Yeah, if they care to
Will you ask them
be.
if
They
they
may
would
be here too,
talk
I don't
to
know.
them?
Yes, I did ask about that, and arrangements will be made if they so desire to, quite frankly, before and or after the execution. Okay, thank you.